Good evening, everybody. Oh, hang on. Let me turn on this other light so you can see me. Ha! There I am. Okay, tonight, you guys, I'm so sorry. If anybody knows me by now, you know that I'll schedule a stream and then, I'll start talking with other people and, listening to other people. And it's I enjoy community. I enjoy discussions, and so or I may get tied into another person's whatever they are sharing in with their live streams or videos, and I lose track of time. And but here we are tonight, and let me get over where I can see the chat because I want to do this in the order of how I have listed it on as testing the spirit. We're going to talk about that first, and then from there we're going to talk about the as I have brought up the the constructs of the delusion and on why we need like the political system, the governing body, and the religious systems. Like I said, hey, I went right from the fire into the frying pan by picking two hot potato topics that are usually the ones that we don't want to talk about and we don't discuss with one another because they're very personal. I'm sorry about the dogs, guys. They're very personal to each one of us, and with that, I have no position or hold no position or authority over what you want to think or what you want to believe because, those things are within you as the unique individual sovereign and the rights that you have to be, just your rights to be your freedoms. So let's start with the testing all spirits. Okay. When I'm talking about testing all spirits, I'm talking, people think that it is an outside, wow, my dogs are really revved up. But I got a pit bull, so if anybody's out there and around, we're good. Um, when we're taught about testing all spirits, well, I actually talk about testing all things. We want to test all things, um, to make sure that it is valid, make sure that what we're seeing and perceiving, um, or what is being proposed to us is of truth, and that it will have a positive or a growth type of an impact on learning about who and what we are, and not be subdued or subjected into another type of a paradox or box. So, for the testing all spirits, as you and I, and pretty much everybody knows, we are spiritual beings. We have a soul, we have a spirit, we have a body. We're here to experience and expand. So when you're testing all spirits, we are to be testing one another. It's not an outside influence that we're testing. It is actually, is this person trying to put me into subjection and control me? Or is this person actually trying to lift and help me grow to an understanding of whether, let's talk about it from a spiritual aspect. Is it growing in my spirit of of who I am, what I am, and growing into the inner knowledge of the divine, sovereign, free individual that we are here to expand and experience? Or you test that spirit. Is that spirit trying to oppress, subjugate, or have me, or using tools? Let me give you an example. If I was to say to you, I hear from God, and God told me to tell all of you this. Okay. How is that going to promote you connecting back? Because we all have that connection. We all have that capability. Am I wanting for you to listen only to me and to project outside of you what I'm telling you? Or am I bringing you to the knowledge and understanding and your spiritual development and growth, which is going to tie into religion and the sex of religion, and why we need to look at those constructs and ask those same questions. So when we're testing the spirit, it is testing one another on what are we promoting in each other. Is it growth? Is it love? Is it respect? Is it forgiveness? Is it gratitude? Is it appreciating the differences, the uniqueness that we each have, and gleaning from each other on what we're sharing? Or am I telling you that I am the one, I hear from God, and this is what God told me, and just wanting you to follow, listen to me, listen to my interpretation and my connection with God, and not being honest and truthful with you about who you are in the respect of that you're an equal. There's not so let's tear away that. There is no person, no human being that is walking on this realm, planet, flat plane, that is not, that we all have the equal portion. Like I gave the example of the workers in the field. Some have worked all day, some worked half the day, some came in at the last hour, and they were all paid the same. We are going through an awakening process, and through this awakening process, equality, sovereignty, expressing ourselves out, you lose the desire to hurt others, or condemn others, or label others. At least that's how it has come across for me. But in the meantime, I do test all things. No matter what phenomena, anomaly, whatever I see going on, I test it. I test anything that, okay, for an example, the lines in the sky. I tested from what's going on in here if I could actually have a beautiful sky appear rather than seeing a tic-tac-toe anomaly go on. And through testing and once removing the doubt, I was able to see amazing, phenomenal, truly phenomenal images that have shown up in our skies. These are tests that we should do, daily as new phenomena, and as we see that this realm in which we occupy is flexible, fluid, and not quite what we all thought it was. It's not solid. It's not fixed. It is not. It's not what we thought. When I say it's not solid and fixed, I'm not talking about this realm. I'm as like in the scripture where it says that it is fixed and that God created it, and I'm not saying it in that context. I'm saying that the things that we see, the things that are going on around us, first in our immediate field, and then we've got the micro and then the macro, and then at the collective level, and why we still see some of these boxes or these control mechanisms. So always test all things, even people. Even the people that you listen to, test the spirit. Are they coming from unconditional love and seeing you as an equal and accepting you no matter what your faith, culture, skin color, any of that? Or are they wanting to or are they promoting actions of lifting themselves up and subjugating and wanting followers And what happens when those kind of phenomena happen, you're actually handing over your sovereignty and your power and your gifts, because we all have all tools, but then you are handing it over and then propagating and perpetuating what this elevated person has just put out. And that's what I'm talking about. Test all spirits. We have the ability through gut instinct, even if we would consider somebody asleep. We have, you get, when somebody walks in the room, you can get an inner feeling about that individual. That is testing the spirit. Your spirit is already revealing to you in a physical way that something is not quite right here. And with that being, you having that gut instinct or heart instinct or tinglings or discomfort, well, maybe that person that just walked in does not have the highest good of intentions towards you. And therefore, your spirit is warning you through gut instinct or things like that, that, they've got some confusion in them. So, keep your distance so that way you don't befall any kind of harm. We have little warning systems that are within us. So, wherever and whenever you are coming across those that are lifting themselves up or putting themselves in a higher platitude rather than of equality, I ask you, please test all spirits, not spirits that are outside, but the spirit that dwells within the individual. When we have twisting in our thinking, we can actually believe many things of outside sources when the truth resides within you. It's the living word. It's written on your heart. So if it's written on your heart, where's your heart? It's inside you. So we are given these tools. We are given these gifts in order to be able to navigate and learn and grow and understand on what we're doing here. Are you coming as unconditional love and forgiveness, or are you trying to control or oppress by using certain books or politics or skin color? It matters not. Test the spirit, test the person, because even in these sects that I just brought up, there's people in there with beautiful, wonderful hearts that are not, when you test the spirit, you'll see that even though they're tangled into one of these paradoxes or these boxes, that their heart is so good. They want no harm to befall anyone, but they want to be heard because they want equality for all. And so, you can't just put a label or a stamp on any group because you need to test each individual that's in that group, because you can find that there are some amazing, awesome people and that we can glean from and learn from that will help with our development and our growth with this phenomena, this amazing phenomena that we are all experiencing one to another. Well, I got a bunch of blue in my room. I love seeing that. So now, okay, so does anybody have any questions on what I mean about the testing spirits? It's not an outside spirit. It is actually the spirit that indwells the individual, whether they're confused on, and I have to say with my heart of hearts, somebody who knows and has that understanding about the equality, the tools that we are born with, whether we're aware of them or not, and they know this about each person, and then they use those tools that they are very aware, and that they also know that there's some people that are not aware of that, and they use them, and those people hand over their sovereignty and their authority and their power and their gifts to this other person, and it causes harm or tries to hurt another grouping of people, culture, or any of, that, um, that would be a huge red flag. When somebody knows within them the equality, the abilities that we all have, that we would call paranormal phenomena, just just off the charts with these things that we're seeing, these things that we're experiencing, and then somebody that's not quite awake, and they're postulating themselves as one thing, knowing that by getting others to believe and follow that, they are basically robbing them of their powers and using those individuals' power and sovereignty and rights to be and create to promote and propagate what they are putting out. Now, that would be somebody that I would walk away from, because I don't, that would not resonate with me, because I know how beautiful and wonderful that everybody is, and how wonderful we're each made, and how we are able to do all things. We were not born here ill equipped. God does not make mistakes. None of us are a mistake. The only thing is that we come in here and we forget. And as we're coming into the remembering, when we're remembering, then we start to pull things back onto ourselves, and we stop giving away our power. We stop giving away our authority. We stop giving away our rights to create to another that has put themselves in a position to try to get us to perpetuate something that they are putting out, whether it be from television or, wow, my dog is really riled up, whether it be from television or news or radio or YouTube platforms or any kind of platform, or you hear a lot about, like, movie stars will get behind some of these actions, or these like how we have people protesting and things like that. Well, they're using their position as a well-known actor or actress, that anybody that would listen to them, or that likes their movies and things like that, then they're actually using their status to get people to follow along with the narrative that that are not awake to how divine and sovereign and powerful and amazing that each of us are. Now, I have put together a little slideshow that I want to share with you guys about religion and the construct of religion. And again, I want to reiterate, having a healthy relationship with God that is within you. Hey, I have no problem with that. I'm not lifting one up over another. It's when it becomes an unhealthy, was we have done extremists, or different points of this, as we're tearing down this matrix program paradigm and digging down into the truth of things, that hopefully it is removing the layers and helping you to see the truth, and the truth will resonate within you, and then it will then bring to light many, many things that, wow, some of the things I have to say that going through this process, I cleaved to, I had a hard time with, but when you get down, to the understanding and walk through it, it's not an easy walk. It's not for the faint of heart. And, it takes a warrior to overcome a lot of the things that we have convinced ourselves to be truth, and to let go of that stuff and allow the truth just to flow through you. It can be very difficult and very challenging, but we are the ones that are our own worst enemy in that. Also, we're all born with the conscience, and with our conscience, are we wanting to harm others and control others? Or are we wanting to love them, respect them, and glean from the beauty that they have to offer? Two simple questions to ask yourself. Now, Let me pull up these slides. So I'm not able to see the chat when I am showing slides to share with you guys. So let's start with, where is it? Definition of religion 1. Okay. Let me get me out of the way. Okay. What is religion? The definition. The belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods, discusses the eternal and usually explains your soul and afterlife. Examples: Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Buddhism, and Islam. And let's go to slide number 2. Okay, now the definition of religion. There are many definitions of religion. Religion means the belief in spiritual beings. Religion is the name of a belief in that power which gives eternal cleanliness to human being. Religion is the recognition of all duties as divine commands. In above definition, there is one thing which is common presence of supernatural power. Now, everything we're seeing, from the Mandela effect to the sky changes, the phenomena, these anomalies, it seems like this whole place is in constant flux of change, and it seems supernatural. Like it's now become natural to be supernatural. Okay, number 3, third definition. The sociology of religion is the study of mutual interaction of religious and other institutions. Religion has been derived from the word religare, which means to bind. So think about that, guys. People organized response or attitude towards supernatural structure or power. Response to the awe-inspiring, extraordinary manifestation of reality. And that last one resonates the most as wow. I mean, what we are seeing, witnessing, experiencing is awe-inspiring. True. Okay, I have one more slide I want to show. And hang on. Baxter, quiet down. Okay, the definition of religious freedom. Freedom of religion is a principle that supports the freedom of an individual or community in public or private to manifest religion or belief in teachings, practice, worship, and observance. The concept is generally recognized also to include the freedom to change religion and not to follow any religion. Okay? So those were the slides that I wanted to share with you on, just wanted to keep it kind of simple on the definition of religion. And we've already went through and went over what, when we get too zealous in a religion, what that can cause, what that can do to people's sovereignty, to belief structures, becoming then fundamentalists, and a control mechanism rather than allowing people to actually spiritually advance, grow into the loving knowledge of the truth. When you are looking at religion, is it bringing forth growth in you? Are you advancing? Are you able, or does the person behind the podium allow for you to actually not only meet but possibly exceed their understanding and understanding? I've seen people that have risen up and surpassed because of the understanding, and the ability to untwist the understanding within them. And by doing that, by untwisting and getting down to the truth, it is, number one, it is freeing. It is very liberating. It allows you to know who you are as a spiritual being having a physical experience here to expand on by through experience on how would you handle a situation as it's proposed to you later on in life. We make the mistakes that we make in order to learn from them. And when you come to a loving place, my goodness, my dog's been quiet all night. He's just really riled up. When you come to an understanding within yourself that all things reside within you, you have the sovereignty, you have the power, you have the right, and you remove that doubt that, all of these different constructs, they put doubt in yourself. Um, Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to let me mute up and go check on my dog. Just bear with me 1 second, please. Sorry about that. There's a critter, and there's like little foxholes that have been dug in my neighbor's yard, and I think it's really piqued the interest of my dog. He really wants them. He wants to meet and greet whoever that is that's making all those little burrow holes. So, um, okay, when we're growing together, number one, and when we remove the doubt and we understand, um, and we were just talking about this with I was just talking about this with well, let me see, I'll use her handle, my life dash DIY, about love. We have to learn, one of the first fundamental things that we need to learn is to love ourselves. If we are in the mindset or in that doubt that we're a dirty, rotten sinner, we are worthless, we and we're in that kind of a mindset paradigm, how are you able to love yourself? And if you're not capable of loving yourself, how then can you express love out to another being? If you have not, see, when I went over there to talk to him, he was fine. He went straight to his bed, and now he's back out after that critter. I'm just gonna let him do his thing. So, okay, I'm able to see the chat, but and what an understanding that this woman has, and so much truth, just from that it sounds simplistic, but have you really thought about, do you love yourself? Can you love yourself? And when you love yourself, the love that will emanate out and around you for others will be so powerful, and will be an authentic, pure love. You will see things differently. You'll see others around you differently. But if you don't have the love within you for you, and you haven't learned to love, it's an inner job first. We're told to get our house in order. We need to clean the inside of our cup. When we clean the inside of our cup, the outside of our cup will automatically radiate out, cleanse. It'll be cleansed, it'll be clean. So when we clean the inside, then we're able to then reflect out and around us the love, and perpetuate, flash smiles to people, want to hug people, accept them for who they are, and learn from one another. We're not here to be automatons. We are not here to be alike. Do you know how boring this place would be if we were all alike? We all believed one thing, we all did one thing, we were all just just one personality, one way of being, um, all the time. How ludicrous that would be, and how boring. Well, I'm going to tell you, we are not a cookie cutter stamp out of one another. We are so unique, so interesting, so deep, and we have so much to offer to one another. We make life colorful. We make life beautiful. There's not, and I'm not going to say that everything is sunshine and roses, because we have twisting in our thinking. And when we have twisting in our thinking, then, there is things that will, in the macro, manifest and will encroach into the micro, and we could either experience, see, or be involved, or stuck with dealing with a situation that we may not like, but in the macro level, as people are still confused or twisted in their thinking, and with these narratives and control boxes, these paradigms, these delusions that keep people doubting themselves, that keep you, they want you in that box, so you can continue to hand over your gifts, your tools, your abilities to perpetuate whatever narrative that they're putting either on the television, behind the podium, or in politics, or it doesn't matter. All of these that we're talking about now here is how to dissolve this in the box thinking, and come up out of the box and walk in this sovereignty and the uniqueness that we each are. And as we're tearing away each of these paradigms, the truth is rushing in, and removing that doubt is very difficult. But when it is removed, it is removed. Once the scales have fallen off your eyes and you see, you cannot unsee. You will continue to grow. So when you are in a situation that may be stifling, holding you back, or trying to keep you in a box of any kind of programming, where they're not allowing you to grow into the truth, the loving knowledge of who you are, God did not make a mistake making you. There's no mistakes. We have free will. That was a gift of God. And by our free will, we get to choose. And with our choices and the decisions that we make, we could fall into major confusion. But there's always a way out, no matter what. Even in the slide that I showed, that even with freedom of religion, we have the freedom to not be tied to any religion. So that's part of our constitutional rights here in America. In truth, no matter where you're located, what's going on within you is a personal thing. And it's when we propagate out that we are right 100%, and it's my way or the highway, is where a lot of times, with our twisting in our understanding, that we could be hampering other people's walk of their awakening, of their journey, of their, we're here for, a blink of an eye when you think of eternity. And what we do in this time, how we affect and how we reflect around us, we leave our little stamp, and then we move on. So with that being said, I want to keep moving forward with trying to destroy the delusion of these boxes, get into the clarity in our thinking, removing the doubt of who you are, how wonderful you are, and also how unique you are. And it's okay. People want to see the real you. They don't want you being fake around them. They want you to be authentic. At least that's from my opinion. I want you to be authentic. I don't want people to feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me to think that I'm going to go off on some kind of a tangent using religion, politics, um, or any kind of a construct that I may think in my mind is true and right from my twisting and my thinking. I'm not going to, a lot of people call it, I'm not going to beat you over the head with the Bible into my way of interpreting it, because I could be twisted in my thinking. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. So, with that being said, we are going, I have to say, that shift, that alignment, that strawberry full moon, as we're going through all of these things together, more things are being revealed, and we're in this together. And the more of us that talk about our journeys, our experiences, and how these are affecting one another, and how it's affecting us, it brings so much comfort to others to know they're not alone in this walk. They're not alone at all. We're in this together. And it's actually a beautiful thing. It's not a man plan, it's a God plan. And I do believe in a creator. I do believe that there is a creator of this place, because it screams creator. Everything I see, I don't see anything outside of God here. And that includes each and every one of us. Whether with our free will we've chosen and gotten ourselves confused, we can always wake up to the truth within us and untwist any confusion or doubt that we have within ourselves. And I'm going to revert back one more time to that conversation. It starts with getting the inside, clean the inside of your cup. Love yourself. If we're not able to love ourselves, then how can we possibly love another? That was such a beautiful, it was a simple statement, but it's so profound and so honest and so truthful and so powerful. So if you can take away anything from this message at this part of it, it would be step into learning to love yourself for who you are and recognize who you are, and then watch the ripple effect go on around you, on how you're able to see others, the beauty in others, what others bring to the table, with love, with a true, pure love that's unconditional, as brothers and sisters, because we are all in this together. I'm going to keep this one short. My dog's finally quiet, of course, now that I'm about done. But I just wanted to touch on those two things. Channel maintenance. Now, I'll put up a short video tomorrow if we're not going to have the live call-in show. Something when I was streaming last night and I said that my dad called. Well, something has happened within the family, and I may have to go and be somewhere else where I am needed. And if that happens, then I will I'll put up a short video letting you guys know that the call-in show is canceled or postponed until I post again. Because, as we know, we have our real life that we're walking through. And then, of course, we do the YouTube to share our growth, share our journeys with one another. But when it comes to real life situations and things of that nature, that's where I would need to be first. I'm not saying that you guys are any less than anybody else or anything like that. I'm talking YouTube, period. That, I will just put it off, because I know that we're making progress. I see so many walking into their own sovereignty, divinity, and reflecting that around them. So stay that beautiful, divine, sovereign, creating what is going on around you, reflecting what's going on in you, out and around you on the micro level, and in time it will hit the macro level. Be patient with one another. Again, remember when you first woke up, what you went through, how it, kind of shook you. And so, as people are waking up, to have the patience with them as this is transpiring. And that's why it's so important to remember, our beginnings. And let's see. I think that pretty much covers. I'm trying to do these in a sequential order that they kind of make sense on tearing down the delusions and peering into the truth. And it's all an inside job. It all starts within us. So remember, test all spirits. Follow that gut instinct. Follow what you're feeling. It doesn't mean that if you're testing that spirit and you feel that they are meaning harm towards you, to lash out, but just know when to walk away and loving them, but being compassionate and understanding by remembering where we were before our awakening process began. Mhm. Think about that. And always, guys, share what you know so we can all listen and grow. I love you guys. Be the beautiful divine sovereign that you are, reflecting that out in your real, daily life. We will get to that macro level. It's coming. Peace.